Hello everyone, Donnie Wanders here, and today I'm going to teach you how to choose a trail. So if you are someone who would like to get into day hiking, but you don't really know where to hike, this video is for you. There's a ton of information out there about trails, but if you don't know where to look, then you're never going to find it. So today I'm going to show you the two main methods that I use for sourcing good hiking trails. And those are apps on your phone and guidebooks like these ones. So let's get started. The first app that I wanted to talk to you about is this one. It's called AllTrails, and I will pop it open. AllTrails is completely free, and it is very, very popular among day hikers like me. So when you open it, it shows you the top trails nearby, and you can scroll through some of those. But the way that I prefer to use this app is to click on Map. And when you click on the map, a map of your area pops open, and then each one of these green dots indicates a trail. With the map scaled out this far, a lot of the green dots get consolidated together. So you can see like there's 10 trails in this area, but if we scroll in, the closer we get, the more those, the trail heads is what the dots actually indicate. They start spreading out, and you can click on those and it will give you a map of the actual trail. So this one is the Spriggs Brook Lake to, I think that's Granite Lake, I believe. Where we've got 4 here, you can scroll through and it shows you different options for these trails. So it's very, very useful. Not only can you see the actual trail on the map, but if you click on the trail, it provides a whole bunch of information about it. So this particular trail is the Porters Lake Loop. It's only 2.3 kilometers, and it's a loop trail, so that's indicated here. So that means you're going to walk out, do a circle, and come back, as opposed to like an out and back trail where you're just walking one path out and the same path back. It provides the elevation gain, so 88 meters. It's going to be a pretty hilly trail over 2.3 kilometers. And it also gives the average time that it takes for people to complete this trail. Then it gives a little description, and if you continue to scroll down, it provides the current weather conditions, and then it gets into a section that I find really useful, and that's the reviews. So this one, the overall rating is 4.4, but you can actually read people's reviews, which the review itself will very often gives you a whole bunch of information about what you can expect on the trail itself. And depending on the trail, there will be lots of reviews. This one has 126, which is quite a lot. The other cool thing is that you can actually kind of preview what the trail looks like with people's photos that they have uploaded. So this will give you an indication. This looks like a pretty big hill. So you can gain a lot of information from the photos that people share as well. The second app that I wanted to tell you about today is the BRMB Maps app. So I will click on that, and similar to AllTrails, it opens up a map. And this one is showing where all the trails are nearby, which is really cool. But the reason that I like this app is because you can click on layers here, and you can choose which layers are shown on the app. Right now I have it on, we'll start with even just the base map. So you can switch over to your different base maps. So this one is more like a Google Earth or Google Maps map, but I kind of like the old school, more cartoony looking map. So the other cool thing about this is you can select which layers you want. So right now I have trail selected, and you can select like all of these or a whole bunch of these, but you can select whatever adventure you're looking to do that day. I really enjoy attractions, and I'm just going to turn off trail. And when you come back out, it's hidden all the trails now, but it is showing all the attractions. So a couple of attractions here. There are beaches. That is a beach, but it's also the Abenaki Aquatic Canoe Club. The purple stars, I think, are museums or historic sites. These are look-off areas, I think. Yeah, these are both on the Macintosh Run, which is a trail that's nearby. And these are views that you can see from that area. So it shows all sorts of different things, including like golf clubs, beaches, as I said. But one thing that I really love, so this little icon here is a waterfall icon. So it actually shows waterfalls as well, which is like super useful when you're into waterfalls like I am. Another neat thing, I'm going to turn off the attractions. We've got fishing, the fishing boundaries, so you'll know where you're allowed to fish and when. Different hunting, the paddling is super cool. So let me show you some of the paddling things here. So A is an access point, and then P in this little triangle here is a portage. So if you wanted to do the Musquodoboit River paddle in your canoe or your kayak, it's indicating that you can put in here and here on the A's. Those are the access points, and then it shows you where you're going to have to potentially get out and carry your canoe or your kayak. Now, I really love this app. I use it quite a lot, and I use it for navigating, and I'm going to make a different video about that, so you can watch for that. That'll be coming out sometime in the next few weeks on my channel. But this is a paid app, so I'm not sure how much functionality you would get with this app if you didn't have a subscription like I do. But I got my subscription for, I think it was $90 for 3 years. So it was a really, really good deal. I got the subscription at one of the outdoor shows that I went to last year. And so it was a good promotion. So I took them up on it. And now I'm going to show you what else came with that subscription. Along with the Backroads Mapbook app, I got this book, and it is the latest edition of the Nova Scotia version of the Backroads Mapbook. And I love this book. So I do love apps as well, but what I really like is to just be able to like open a book and flip through the pages. I'm kind of old school like that. There's just something really cool about like opening a guidebook. So the way that this book is set up is all the maps are in the first section of this book, and if you are looking to go to, so we were just looking at like the Musquodoboit area, so that would be map number 24. So we can open up to that map. So there is that section. This section is this page of this book, and you can take your good old time perusing the map. It's got like all the things in the app. It has little waterfalls, which might be hard to see here, but it's got like all the attractions, it's got trails, it's got all the good stuff on the app, but it is harder to see. Obviously I can't just like zoom in and out on a book. But I really just, there's something cool about like, I don't know, guidebooks and holding a map. I really enjoy it. So that's the first section of the map book. And then the second section is divided into adventures. So these are all the adventures that you can choose your own adventure. And so what I'll do here is go to page 130 is where the trails start. So starting on page 130, it's got some of the most popular trails listed here, and there's a little description of each one. So you can gain a lot of information from each little description. What's really cool about this book too is that in the adventure section, it provides things like we've got fishing, hunting, paddling, park, trail. So parks are, a lot of the provincial parks and other parks that are around Nova Scotia. ATV and snowmobiling trails. It talks about wildlife and winter activities. And then in this particular version for Nova Scotia, we've got 3 bonus sections. So we've got beaches, rock climbing, and surfing. And I suspect that, particularly beaches and surfing, you're not likely to get somewhere in, say, the Manitoba version of this book. I'm not sure what their bonus section would be, but I can't imagine there's too much surfing out in Manitoba. So this book I absolutely love, just sitting on the couch and just trying to plan my next adventure, either based on the maps or based on this the adventure section in the back. So if you're like me and you really enjoy the old school kind of leafing through a book to find your trail, I would suggest that another way that you can find outdoor adventures is to consult other guidebooks. It doesn't have to be like an atlas style map book. 2 books that I go to quite often are these ones. So the first one is the Hiking Trails of Mainland, Nova Scotia, and Waterfalls of Nova Scotia. So these are guidebooks that are pretty particular to this area, but whatever area you're in, I'm certain there probably is a guidebook that would be pretty similar to these books. The way that this one is set up is there's a map at the start. So the map indicates where all the hiking trails are, and those are numbered, and then you just turn to that number of the trail in the book. And I just happened to turn to Cape Chignecto Provincial Park, which is an awesome trail. It's a big trail, not a day hike. I would suggest that it's definitely an overnighter. But you can get all of that information from the book. So there's photographs and a description of what the trail is like, how long it is, very similar to the apps that I showed you just a few minutes ago. One of the things that I personally like to do with books like this that I own is I will put a check mark next to the trail after I've completed it. So this is a really, really good book. For the mainland, there's also one for Cape Breton Island. There's a separate hiking, a trails guide by the same author, I believe. The other book that I wanted to show you is Waterfalls of Nova Scotia. So this book is set up very similarly to the trails book there. There's a map at the start, and each one of those little dots indicates a waterfall. And then there's a chart that gives you the waterfalls at a glance. And similar to the trails book, I am slowly checking off all the waterfalls that I've visited that are listed in this book. This is not all the waterfalls in Nova Scotia, nor is this book all the hiking trails in Nova Scotia. These are, I think, waterfalls and trails that these 2 particular authors really, really liked. The other fun thing that I do in this book is I take notes in it. So when I complete a trail, or when I visit a waterfall, I should say, I will write on the page itself, usually a few notes. So for Phantom Fall, Dave and I visited on September 5th, 2020, and I wrote a little review which includes that it's an awesome trail and awesome falls. So if you own a book like this, you can certainly put check marks and make little notes in it for yourself so that you can go back. It's always kind of fun to go back and read my own notes or what I thought of each trail, who I went with, and just what we thought of the trail or the waterfall. I hope that some of the information that I gave you today helps you to get out on the trail. If you are a beginner day hiker, I would definitely recommend downloading the apps that I suggested, AllTrails and the Backroads Mapbook app. They will definitely help you to get out and start exploring. And they're super easy to use. And if you are old school and like the paper copies, like the guidebooks, these are available at like local bookstores. This book is definitely available at outdoor stores, so places like Bass Pro Shop, Mountain Equipment Company, that sort of thing. And these are also available at your local library, so you can borrow books like this. You don't have to necessarily buy them. But whatever method that you choose, I hope that one of those methods helps you to get out on the trail. So that's it for me. Thanks for watching, and Donnie Wanders will see you in the next one.